There are powers on Earth too hidden to be seen, and conspiracies too vast to comprehend. For years, the world has seen fact distorted, reality manipulated, and the truth concealed. Join the Pierre Sebac podcast to uncover the real meanings behind ancient aliens and their symbolism.
Hi, this is Pierre Sebac, unlocking the keys to the mysteries. Now today I'm just going to look at two ideas, which is codiology, which is codified language, and convergent wordplay. Now sometimes I like to look at different types of symbolism, which I explore in my book Holographic Culture. Again, these terms are quite technical, but I think it's useful for my audience to at least begin to get used to some of these ideas in terms of how language is used within symbolism to encrypt and to encode ideas. And there are multiple ways of encoding ideas through linguistic discourse, and this is something that I've spent the last 15 years actually trying to deconstruct. And so I'm just going to try and impart some of my knowledge and wisdom to my audience. So I hope that you will listen, and although it might be sometimes a little bit technical, I will try and do my best to try and explain this in a way which is as accessible as possible. Now, codiology is just another word for codified language, and it goes back to the Latin word, which is codex, which is a block of wood. Later the term codex came to mean a block or a split of wood which was split into leaves or tablets, which was used for writing upon. Essentially, codiology is the study or utilization of codes within written literature, and therefore you find the deconstruction of codiology within the classical tradition. So the classical tradition itself typically uses codological discourse. It uses a private discourse, a discourse which is written in code. And I just want to just make a reference here, and codiology should not be confused with the term codology, which is foolish or untrue talking or writing or nonsense. Okay, so there is a distinction there. Now, codiology and codology, if you like, they are both art forms in that they both rely upon, or they both denote, if you like, the falsification of information. And the idea of falsifying information or giving truth through falsified ideas and vice versa is really an expertise which is related to the Disciperati. Now, the Disciperati are the deceivers, and the deceivers are the priesthood. And this priesthood, they have the knowledge, and whether it's found within academia, within the sciences, the Disciperati are propagating false information. And this is why the age that we live in now is a very exciting age, because we have the computer and we have the ability at our means to deconstruct knowledge. So really now we're having the democratization of knowledge, and so this is a very interesting time to be alive. Now, leading on from codiology, we have convergent wordplays. Now, a convergent wordplay is another term for a polyglottal pun, and I'll go into this in a moment. I'll just give you a breakdown of what the word convergent wordplay means. So, if we look at the Latin stem, the term convergent means to incline together. So we get the word con, which is together, and vergere, which is to incline. In other words, to incline or to come together. Now, a convergent wordplay, it's very similar to a polyglottal pun, but convergent paranomasia or convergent wordplays is where a word is paired, a paired wordplay from one language is repeated in another language, and it shares a similar though not identical idea. So in other words, polyglottal symbolism will share an identical idea. Convergent is it's a little bit more, shall we say, it's a little bit more vague in its idea, but the relationships are still found in these wordplays, and I'll show you that in a moment. So a good example of this type of elaboration is found, if you like, within the encoding of God and dog. Now, the terminology dog here is used to refer to the dog star. So the dog star is identified with the worship of God. Now, this is a pairing which is convergent in Arabic with Allah, God, and Awat-Bark. Now, as we can see, God and dog and dog and bark, they're not identical. They're dealing here with similar themes, but they're not identical. A polyglottal symbol would be the repetition of the same idea or the same identical idea. So I'm just going to go through a couple more examples just to try and show you the difference, if you like, between convergent symbolism and polyglottal symbolism. So, for example, within convergent symbolism, we would have in Arabic, if we use the same example again as we did with English, we had God and dog, but I'm going to use a different example here. We have the Arabic word Allah, God, and Awat-Bark. Now in Japanese we find the same similarity also. In the Japanese we have Kame, which is God, and Kame, which is wolf. So again, that's a convergent signifier, because God and bark is different from God and wolf, but they're very similar. They're conveying similar ideas, and these ideas appertain to the veneration of the dog star, the shining one. Now, an example of polyglottal symbolism would be found in the Arabic and the Latin, to use the same example or the same analogy again. So, for example, we've got Allah, God, and Awat-Bark. The same is also found in the Latin. We have Lato is Apollo or God, which was the old name for Apollo, and Latro, which is to bark or to snarl. So we instantly know that Apollo is related to the dog star. Although ostensibly he is the solar god, that is the outer mysteries. In the inner mysteries, it's covert, and the covert meaning of Apollo is Sirius, the shining one. And again, this would go back to the seraphic tradition. Hence, the solar disk is often represented with the seraph or the serpent, which is this knowledge which is non-human. Now, if we look at the examples, therefore, to try and just summarize this very quickly, in the example of Allah, God, and Awat-Bark, they're closely related concepts which are found in the Japanese vocabulary of Kami, a god, and O-Kami, which is a wolf. Now, demonstrated in the word list, Awat-Bark is similar, broadly speaking, to the Japanese word O-Kami, wolf, but it's not identical in meaning. So therefore, if you like, the crucial difference between a convergent wordplay and a polyglottal pun is that convergent wordplays, they're less specific. They encrypt a general theme or an idea only. Polyglottal symbols repeat the wordplay exactly. As we said before, Allah, God, and Awat-Bark is repeated in Latin with Lato, Apollo, or God, and Latro, to bark or snarl. Both are the signifiers of the dog star. The dog star in this respect relates to Sirius, which relates to the representation of the ru'akh and the high spirits. The high spirits in this respect are the jinn or the seraphim. Serapha, which is fire, which again is the scorching one. The jinn are born from fire. So that's basically convergent symbolism, and we talked about how convergent symbolism is really working upon a codological discourse, or a discourse which is codified. Right, I hope that you've enjoyed my video. If you have, then please give my videos a thumb up, and also please pass around my videos. Thank you for listening. This is Pierre Sabak, and please tune in again. Let's try and make this world a better place. Thank you very much.